Good morning, Bob. How are you doing today?
It's very good to meet you and any listeners who are tuned in and on the road or wherever you're doing.
Absolutely. Boy, you've got that right. People are on the move, aren't they?
Oh, that's where I listen. Thank goodness.
Hey, congratulations on this the song that you put on with Mr. Rogers. I think when I saw your name on there, I'm going, of course, it's got to be a part of this journey.
Well, we were fortunate. We were more fortunate than everybody else on the album, in our opinion, only because of the song that they chose for us to do. Now, when they first came at us, they said, hey, we're doing a little thing of songs that Mr. Rogers wrote. So the first thing I thought was, Mr. Rogers was a songwriter. And because, you don't really log on to stuff like that growing up too much. And then we found out that he even actually wrote Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It blew us away. And then all the other people coming in, Mickey Dolenz and Tom Bergeron, all the people that did the other songs, we really got a look into Mr. Rogers' catalog. He was more than it seemed.
Why is it that so many writers go into hiding like that? Because, the world did not know that he was that songwriting guy. But I call them writer hiders. But have you met people like that as well, that hide their material?
They don't. I don't think they're hiding it. It's not their. I don't think it's their priority. Like Mr. Rogers, his priority is the land of make-believe, the kids, the sweater, the show, the this, the that. I think to him, being a songwriter, I guess he always was, and it was not that big a deal to him. And I don't think he really wanted to make it a big deal. I don't know why. That song is terrific. And, well, look, I say we hear it. It's a soundtrack song, from one of our mornings as kids, right? Mm-hmm. So you half pay attention. But when you're asked to record the song and you go into the studio and get into it, just like any cover tune you do, you learn the brilliance behind it because you're experiencing it by playing it. And then you wear that and you go, this is way better than I ever thought. It's a beautiful arrangement, and it was perfect.
It was. Us, yeah. Well, it sounds like it's so fresh. It's almost like you guys were chosen to give it to the next, level of generations that are headed in this direction.
I think with us, we might have hit that mark. I agree, because it was so out of left field when they called us. Mr. Rogers is calling? What? And you go, they're doing this, they're doing what? And then you get into it and you go, hey, this is very cool. This is like, who knew? We're thrilled to get all up to date on Mr. Rogers. He's very deserving.
Your voice is so magnetic even today. How is it that you have preserved it when so many others have, they've kind of walked away from that music career, but you guys continue to grow forward?
You know what we did? We've only put 3 albums out, one in the 70s, one in the 90s, and this recent one, Rhythm of the World, that we just put out on Omnivore. And the thing with us is that we never stopped. We're not visual to you. For many years, we're raising kids, we have a family, but I'm in Woodland Hills, California. I sang 5 nights a week, many years, 3 nights, many years, for 28 years at a pub, 4 hours a night with a guitar. And I'm singing everything. So I think those 28 years. Now, Susan did the same thing in New Orleans, played all the time, never stopped. This keeps your voice. We think we kept our voices in shape because we just exercised them that way, honestly. If we didn't do any singing at all, who knows? But we're lucky, and we're genetically lucky. We have a DNA component that's strong, and so we have a lot going for us in the vocal department.
Well, I'm excited to see that you guys are going out on a summer tour. What's that going to be like for you?
It's rigorous. We're not spring chickens. It's a Happy Together tour. We're going out with Little Anthony and the Imperials and the Turtles and Gary Puckett. There's 6 of us out there. 60 cities starting May 31st, I think, in Clearwater, Florida. And we do the East Coast in June, the West Coast in July, and the Midwest in August. And we've been on that tour 7 summers in a row now. And it is a night of hits. We all do our hits. That's all they want to hear from us. The audience, that's all they want to hear. They know what they sound like. And by the way, they better sound like that. Well, because your audience, they know what those records sounded like. This is the memory they bring into the arena, is the memory of the records, not your last live performance 20 years ago. So they know what these songs are supposed to sound like. So the artists on that tour do our very level best to sound just like the recordings. I mean, the Eagles were always good at that. When you went to an Eagles concert, they didn't rewrite their songs. They just gave you what you wanted, you know, and that's a good thing to do.
When they sing louder than you do at that live performance, what's that like for you? Is it? I mean, it's got to be a thrill and a chill going through your mind, body, and soul.
Well, we have a really good audience always. That feeds you very well. And it's an audience that's unique in that when they come to our show, they know who we are, what we're going to play, and they're ready to love us if we do it well. And even if you don't do it well, because of your legacy that you bring to the show, they'll forgive you for that. And if you do it really, really well and extra good, they're going to go nuts because they're going, well, we didn't expect that. So it's a warm, entertaining summer of people that are just loving each other. Or as this one young stagehand said to us as we arrived one day, "Oh, are you the hippie tour?" And we said, "Yeah, all right. If you want to call us a hippie tour, go for it."
Well, congratulations on the new music, the tour, as well as the Mr. Rogers theme song. I just look forward to seeing you guys live on that stage, because it really is, you're right, it is a performance, but at the same time, it's a trip down our memory lane.
It's a beautiful thing. Oh, it's a beautiful thing in the neighborhood. Anyway, yeah, and you got to check out Won't You Be My Neighbor. It's a pop song.
Yes.
It's a pop song. Who knew? And now we know. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Well, you be brilliant today and enjoy your conversations with all of the talent around the nation, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's wonderful visiting.